And what's doing, guys? Back with another fresh final review, and today we're going to be looking at the X Plus Toho 30cm Godzilla 2014 Rick Roaring Edition. Okay, yes, this is the Rick Roaring. This came out February 2016. This is technically the second issue of the Godzilla 2014 figure, as the standard / Rick came out in June of 2015 of last year. Okay, if you remember, this was the standard. Here's the picture. It comes with the Rick Muto. Okay, but this is now the brand new Roaring Edition. It comes with, as you can see clearly right here, right in front of you, the blue dorsal plates that are lit up as if he was actually getting ready to charge up his atomic breath. Okay, it comes with a different roaring head, which is really nice and dynamic. And then, you know, the paint job throughout the body and in the mouth is a little bit different, what we'll get into momentarily, okay? So, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the Roaring today. Roar! Okay, let's look at the box first, okay? The box. So this is the box. Nothing really too special about the box. It just has Toho 30cm series on the top. Then we got Godzilla 2014 in the middle, surrounded by a black, underlay, whatever you want to call it. And then we have Godzilla 2014, and this, I'm going to guess, says Roaring Edition version. Okay? So, that's pretty much the box. Nothing too crazy about it. Now, the figure. So, what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the figure first, and then I'm going to bring up the standard, and we'll do a little comparison there. Now, for the most part, the sculpt is identical, with the exception of the head. Right? The head is the only difference to the sculpt. The rest of it, the tail, the arms, the legs, the body, even the dorsal plates, even though the different color, are exactly the same to the first edition, okay? So, with the head now, let's talk about the head real quick. Yeah, it's roaring. He's roaring up. It's very dynamic, if you ask me. I really like it a lot. But the detail and everything else is the same about the figure, except just for these modifications. Now, for those of you that remember when the original Godzilla 2014 was announced, they teased the roaring head and the standard head, just Godzilla looking in neutral pose, and we thought that was going to be the Rick Extra. That's not what it turned out to be, because the Rick Extra for the Godzilla 2014 was the male Muto, okay, that we got, which was pretty cool too. So then they came with this edition, blue dorsal plates, and we got the roaring head. So, along with the roaring head that was teased originally, what we have now, there was some concerns about the seam around the neck, and I'm going to tell you, like, the seam, it's molded nicely. You can't really tell it's there. It doesn't look as bad as what it was in the prototype pictures like we saw in the beginning. So, this is not a big deal. It's just, it's the way the sculpt was actually sculpted. So, now that they had the two heads, you're going to have a seam there. But the head doesn't turn or nothing. So it's not a big deal. It doesn't look that bad. The dorsal plates look awesome. Nice and blue. They are translucent. Something I will say, for those people that are thinking about, I want to make this light up, you're going to have a little bit of a problem getting this to light up, because underneath the dorsal plates here, underneath the skin, take a look at the picture. I'm going to take a picture here. This is the best I could get it, but as you can see, there is a wall of vinyl going up the whole back of the dorsal plates on the inside of the figure, which means, how am I going to make it light up if you want to try to make it light up? You're going to have to probably tear the back of the dorsal plates off, do some surgery, remove that extra vinyl wall, and then put the lights in. I don't know. I think it's really crazy and ludicrous if you ask me, because I'm going to tell you right now, I think these look awesome the way they are. I don't think they need to be lit up, because they do look like they are glowing. The way they were painted, the way the blue is, and yes, it is translucent vinyl here, so you can pass light through them, but I think it looks great the way it is. So if anybody's going to try to light it up, you're going to have a little bit of a challenge there. So, challenge accepted. Go for it. But the dorsal plates are blue. I really like it. They really look awesome. It goes down, starts at the top of the neck all the way down, working its way probably to right about here at the tail, okay? So, looks really good. I'm really glad I got this. Let me tell you something. I wasn't going to get this figure originally. I was like, I already have the standard, Rick, first edition. I'm like, why do I need two of them? I saw pictures, like, yeah, it looks really cool and all, but I was like, I just really couldn't justify having two of them. And, I got my own Mike Johnson. Thanks, Mike. And He messaged me not too long ago, just like maybe like a week or two before the release of the figure, and asked me if I want one because someone bailed on him. So to the person that bailed, Mike Johnson, thank you, because now I have this figure, and I'm really glad I got it. I'm really glad I had an opportunity to get it because I would probably been a little bit bummed about it. So that's how I got it, if you guys were wondering. Anyway, back to the figure. Let's talk about the paint job some more, because, that's one of the big differences. This paint job, it's a darker color paint job. It's what I guess we're calling the nighttime paint job. The color is mostly the same throughout the whole body, with the exception of the dorsal plates and the mouth and everything, the eyes. But the toenails look the same. The fingernails look the same. In generally speaking, I think they look the same anyways in the standard. We're going to pull them up in a second. But the paint job's darker. There are no more highlights. Let's just pull the standard up right now. Come here. Let's pull them up. Let me look at them first. Actually, yeah, so the toenails and the fingernails on the first edition here, they're accented a little bit light beiges and browns to accent the toenails. But on this one, the toenails and fingernails, they're all the same paint color. It's like a flat, dark charcoal gray paint job here, where this is a little bit more dark brown, okay? So, again, I don't think it's that much of a big deal to me because they blended a little nicely over here. But that's the best part about having both figures. This one's doing this story. This one's telling a different story, okay? Other paint job differences on the stomach and the chest. The highlights are here. As you can see, the light beige highlights. On this, they're not present because, again, it's the nighttime version, I guess. So that's a little bit of a difference. What else about the paint jobs? Everything, again, dark browns, more charcoal gray, kind of similar to what, Godzilla's actual skin color Toho version was. Charcoal black, charcoal gray, okay? Now, the mouths, look at the mouth. Mouth on this one, it's a little bit more lighter red skin tone looking, gummy looking. This one, it's more lively looking. It's painted a little bit darker red. It looks a little bit more meatier to me, I guess. It looks a little bit more juicier. So I dig this a little bit better. Compared to that one. But again, now we have, you have options. It makes this one that much different than this one, so they're not exactly the same. They're very similar, of course, but this one's got a little bit more characteristics to it, and that's what's pretty cool. So the mouth's a little bit different. The eyes, did I even get a good look at the eyes? I think they look pretty good. Okay, not a big deal. So this is your size comparison between the two of them. I'm really glad I got them. It's awesome. If you would ask me which one do I like better right now, I don't know. Having this one makes me like this one even more than I did without having this one. So they kind of both boost each other, if you know what I mean. So really neat. Really neat. If I had to do anything different to this one, I would have raised his arms, bent them at the elbow a little bit just to give him a little bit more difference. But not a big deal. So anyways, make sure if you haven't checked out the review for this guy, this was my last review. Check that review out. See what you think about this one. What do you think about this one? If you don't have one yet, which one should you get? I don't know. Hit me up in the comment section. Got questions. Speaking of blue dorsal plates, the next review that I have come is going to be the Yuji Sakai GMK Godzilla 2001 30 centimeter from X Plus, and I heard that one has blue dorsal plates, so we will see when that one comes in. Okay? Alright. Until then, check my next figure review, if I could get it out, and make sure you check out freshvinehq.com. If you guys get questions, hit me up on the Instagram, the Twitter, or the Facebook, or whatever you want to call it. Bam, bada bing, bada boom. And remember, buy vinyl, fresh vinyl, and I'll see you next video review. Bam!